Hey, what's good, everybody? It's me, your hero, Benjamin Banks, and you are watching Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. And joining me, as always, are my co-hosts, Rebellious D and Trav. How you fellas doing today?
Ready to go, man.
Hey, it's thunderstorming.
Hey, it's Friday.
Got the vibes.
It's raining on and off over here in Virginia. And yeah, man, I hope that we can get through these episodes that we have for tonight before the power goes out, because you know how Virginia weather can be.
Nah, we know how your weather can be.
And what's that?
We ain't got that problem in Chesapeake. That's a Norfolk thing.
That's
all you, baby.
Y'all got tornadoes.
My power good. My power been good.
Y'all got them tornadoes in Chesapeake, man. We safe over here. I'm fine losing power, but I'm not fine with my house flying away like in the Wizard of Oz.
Hey, but the power's still on when the house go flying, baby.
Hey, y'all got them generators too. Yeah, so right. That too. You know, we don't have them generators out here, man. And joining us on today's episode is Nazeeh Tarsha. How you doing today, Nazeeh?
Yo, the dopamine receptors hitting. It's the weekend, baby.
Yeah.
yes.
Do you get a weekend in your line of work though?
Look, we try and make it happen. It's one of those things where you just gotta like ignore the emails, turn off the phone, and say, "Yo, I ain't looking at that."
Now, Trav, I know that you just asked him. You know, does he get weekends in his line of work? But how about you let the viewers know what he does?
This man is an incredible voice actor talent, a director of sorts.
How you doing?
All right.
Hey, that's right. You should have done from the get-go though. How you doing?
How you doing? But yeah, man. Hey, we appreciate having you on our Falcon and Winter Soldier review. This is episode 4. The title of the episode is "The Whole World Is Watching," and when I read that title, it made me think of the Outkast song.
Oh yeah,
you know what I'm saying. So yeah,
I know what you're saying. So
also too, before we get into this video, I want to say 2 things. As always, make sure you like the video, you subscribe to the channel, and you hit that bell button whenever we have new content on the channel. And I also wanted to say rest in peace to DMX. He passed away today.
X gonna give it to you.
One of my favorite rappers, Trav. It's like when I believe you had got in my car and you saw that I had all the DMX CDs, and you just like, this man's still driving around with CDs.
Nah, and on top of you had it in the stereo.
Yeah.
Turn on cars, what you're listening to, which I ain't got no problem with. But you know.
Yeah. Hey, man, he was the best, man.
Hey, rest in peace to the Prince Crypt Keeper.
Hey, I wasn't gonna say that, but rest in peace to him too, man. You know, a lot of
to the Prince Crypt Keeper. That dude's been dead. You can see it in his face. This dude got the soldier serum. Has been keeping him alive for a decade.
No, he was going to that Lazarus pit. But yeah, hey, let's go ahead and get into today's episode. What an amazing episode! I feel like this show, like each week, like it just always continues to get better, man. From the character development that we see in the episode to the characters that might only have a few moments on screen. Now, Nazeeh, this is our first time having you up here on our video reviews. But like, give us your thoughts. Like, you've been watching it since the beginning. How have you been liking it so far?
I'm greatly enjoying it, actually. I kind of touched on this pre this recording, but I find that the fact that we're able to just like follow the journey and like the characterization of these different characters throughout these episodes makes it so that you have like a more of a personal relationship versus like watching it in like a 2-hour just like, all right, here it is, here's the formula, we're doing it, you know. And also it lets you like it kind of lets the producers go into a route where they get to be a little more imaginative, and also they get to go in because it's more of like on the streaming service, on the TV rather than just on the big screen. I feel like they're able to like delve into like some of those more like hardcore issues, you know, start delving into racism and stuff too. They touched on that in that last episode. Yeah. And just kind of like and with the ending of this episode, it's just like, oh, this got dark. Like, like, okay, like this isn't something I felt I would have seen on the big screen, but here we're in like a more intimate setting. Everyone's just like edge of their seat, like, oh man, what is going on? But yeah, no, I'm absolutely loving this right now. I think they're doing a fantastic job on it.
And this the episode that turned Paul.
Oh, he finally became a fan.
They turned Paul. Paul said, "Okay."
Hey, it's definitely ain't your traditional Disney show. That's for sure.
Yeah. Now I want to piggyback off of what you just said, Nazeeh, because like when we get to the end of the episode, it did get very dark, and when I was watching it, it's like my jaw dropped because I was just like, are they really doing this right now? Because I feel like when it comes to, you know, stuff in the MCU, we don't really get like a lot of dark moments. And like my brain is a little foggy right now, and I don't know if you guys know, but have there ever been any like truly like dark moments like this that we've seen in the MCU?
The Dark World, baby.
Yeah, there's been a couple.
There's been a couple. I mean,
well, as far as I'm concerned, Winter Soldier comes to mind when he killed Tony's parents. That was pretty damn dark.
Not this though.
That was pretty. I don't know, dude. That was pretty dark because he definitely reached in there and strangled his mom.
I know, but this was like, to me, this is like you was getting chased by the killer, and then you finally got him, and you just go ham on him.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah.
This horror movie vibes.
Yeah, but those two moments to me are pretty big. Like this one, and then the Winter Soldier killing Tony's parents. Like I said, that was pretty dark.
So I think in my sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, and it adds to it the way Tony finds out.
Oh yeah,
it's just like that whole atmosphere just like immediately changed. You have to count it as one whole.
Hey, Bucky looked up at the camera,
and then Steve knew, and it's just like,
did he know? D?
Did he know?
Yes.
Yeah. So like me and D, like it's like we ask each other that question all the time. Like, did he know?
Yeah.
But everybody knows Civil War is my favorite Marvel movie.
Yeah, I mean, well, bro, it's like all of the Captain America movies have been really good. Like you don't hear
so good, but that's not even about it being my favorite movie. It's what these dudes, Paul and John from the Oscar Worsty podcast,
don't tell me they trashed it.
Audacity to they did more than trash it. They said it's the most boring MCU movie ever.
This is coming. I'm sorry,
I almost
Paul.
left the chat.
This is coming from the guy who said. He said Wonder Woman 1984, whatever it's called. Yeah, he said that was better than anything Marvel put out. And I was like, all right, I'm good on that.
I remember when my uncle, he wanted to check us out and he was watching the video and he was just like, what the hell is this guy talking about? We love Paul. We love the Oscar Worsty.
We love Paul, but I don't know what the
hell
Paul
be reaching. Sometimes Paul be reaching, man. But, you know, I wanted to go back to with the title of the episode, The Whole World is Watching. And because we live in a digital age now, when that scene happened, when John Walker killed one of the flags,
went over the edge.
Yeah, it's like everybody was sitting there recording. I'm sure people were on Facebook Live, and it's like he didn't stop. And the guy, he just kept on saying, like, I didn't kill him. Now, to rewind it back a little bit, Isaiah Frazier, what's his name? Lamar. I'm mad. I butchered the man's name.
Battlestar?
Yeah, I know it's Battlestar, but what is his name? Lamar. Is it Lamar Hoskins?
Yes.
There we go. Lamar. Yes. I don't know who Lamar Frazier or Isaiah.
Probably a real person.
It probably is a real person, but yeah, Hoskins, man, like he ends up getting killed, and this just sends John into a rage, and
that's his boy.
That was his boy, man. And it was just, but I'm like, Hoskins, it's like, I've always liked his character since the first time we saw him on the screen. Like, you know, like you just said, Trav, that was his boy. You know, whenever John was feeling down on himself or he didn't have the confidence, Hoskins was always there to be like, you know, you're the right person for the job and everything. And they even have that conversation when they were talking about the super soldier serum, which they end up finding after they go to the hideout and whatnot. And John, he ends up taking one before Zemo can destroy all of them. Like all of that, man, if you had the opportunity to get the super soldier serum and you were in this world, would you take it?
Ideally, probably not. It comes down because remember the thing that made Steve a good candidate or a great candidate is his upbringing had more to do with anything.
Yeah,
his not having and not knowing That's what made him. And John, he's this decorated soldier. They never said what he did. Well, he said that he got a medal for the worst day of his life.
Yeah, he got like 3 medals.
Yeah, whatever. He probably
killed a bunch of people. Is what happened.
Yeah, he probably obviously. So, ideally, probably not. Yeah. Trav, would you take it?
Hell yeah. I mean, I'm not even going to do that.
John Hey, change your name from Trav to John
But, bro, here's the thing, dude. It's like, I'm just keeping it 100 with everybody, bro. If that jank is in front of me, hell yeah, I'm taking it.
It would have to be the right situation for me to take. I couldn't
It's always the right situation.
Nah, no, it's not, Trav. You sound like somebody who's going to get busted, locked up.
Yeah, Trav, you really sound like John Walker right now.
Not when I got that serum, though. Hey, not when I got that serum, them bars.
You gonna be in there talking to Norman Osborn and all these guys?
No, sir.
Hey.
No, sir.
Well, the phone gonna be in there trying to coerce you, trying to get you to work for him and stuff.
So it depends on what the situation in which I'm presented this with.
Exactly.
So here are the couple of things, right? Okay. If you're telling me I can take this serum, I ain't got to worry about no other super soldiers. I ain't got to worry about no one else. It's just me living my life as I am. I just happen to be a little stronger. The answer is going to be yes. Yeah. But if you put this serum in front of me, with me and my current personality, and I'm aware that there are people like the Avengers and super soldiers and all this other going on, I ain't taking it. I'm
gonna snatch you up.
I'm about to get caught up in something. I do not want to get caught up.
I didn't know it was going this deep. I thought it was just like, hey, if you're gonna have a power.
Well,
I mean, what would it be?
This is why you got to really think about this, man.
No.
You don't want to ask me hypothetical.
That's great.
It's like I want to go back and piggyback off of what D was saying about when Steve took it. Like Steve, how he was raised. He came from nothing, and it's like you can kind of compare Steve Rogers in the first Captain America movie to Azuka Midoriya, where it's like Midoriya always wanted to be a hero, but he knew that there was no chance in him ever becoming one.
I can see that lightly.
Hey, but who was crying? I can see that. Who was crying more?
Oh, of course, Midoriya was.
Midoriya, of course.
But hey, don't forget Steve's still from New York, bro.
Yeah, you got to
fight people by the movie theater.
Hey, not just any part of New York, though.
Yeah, go ahead, man.
Steve had his bully too. When the guy was beating him up in the alley, he said, "I can do this all day." And just like Midoriya,
trash can lid.
Midoriya had Bakugo, and he never gave up. And then All Might saw him, just like the Doctor saw Steve, and was just like, "Hey, I'm gonna give you a piece of my hair." So for me, I don't think that I would take it. Just because I feel like it's something that was only right for Steve. And, in the world that we live in, if we were in that world, you see like all of these people with superpowers and whatnot. And like we see Carly, for example, and how she has the super soldier serum, but she doesn't have the same heart as Steve does. And, one of her comrades, he tries to tell her, it's just like, you're pretty much the new Captain America. You're what the original Captain America was, but the difference between her and Steve Rogers is that she's actually killing people. And I love the fact that when Sam was having that conversation with her, it was just like, I'm here for you. I agree with what you're doing, but I don't agree with the way that you're doing it because
her methods
killing people.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that I love about this is like how deep they go with the characters and the conversations that we get. Like even going back to episode 2 when we had Isaiah Bradley up there, man, and he was talking about everything that he went through when he took the super soldier serum. They did experiments on him and everything. So I can understand why some people wouldn't want to take that super soldier serum. Like Battlestar, he wouldn't take it. Yeah, I'm pretty sure because John he had the super soldier serum. I'm pretty sure if he asked Lamar if he wanted to take it, I'm pretty sure Lamar would say no. Like, I'm good on that. You know what I'm saying? But it's tempting.
I do like how once we dove into this small huge topic, Trav was like, well, yeah, see, and that's why you can't just take it. You got to think about it first. Because hey, when Sinister Six swoop in and they're like, "You're gonna work for us,"
but I didn't realize our hero Benjamin Banks was the only one fit to take it like Steve Rogers was.
No, I said that it had to be like okay. And you're in town square and there's bombs going off and the serum's there and you could save people. You take it. That's different though. I wouldn't just take it. Be like, hey, we think you're the right guy. Be like, no, I'm good.
But bro, Imagine how well that chocolate milk gonna be mixed up, bro. When you got that super
God.
soldier
Yeah.
serum going.
Oh, were you shaking?
That
Were you
shit
shaking that
bugs I
pre-work?
go
real good.
First
Now,
person I'm calling is Trav when it breaks too.
Yeah.
now, something else I wanted to touch on was we have the Dora Milaje there, and at the start of the episode, Ayo, she comes and she wants to take Zemo, like they want to take him out. And Bucky, he tells her that, we need him because he's the only one that can help us stop the Flag Smashers. We're finding out their whereabouts and whatnot. And I thought that it was cool seeing them again. And it's like when I saw them in Black Panther and like just saw the ass that they were kicking in that movie, man, I was looking forward to seeing if we were going to see it in this episode. And they delivered when they showed up at the apartment. And like they were starting to kick ass and everything, and like John, he was just like, "Hey,
I think that's what. I don't think John would have taken that serum until he got his ass kicked. I truly believe. Well, I think that's what made him go. Shit,
remember, they made him look ordinary. Is what happened.
Oh, for sure.
Steve never would have lost him to Wakandan warriors. Never. Right. I don't think that happened.
Of course not. Of course.
And then he just looked so silly when he lost.
He was.
They beat the brakes on this man.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, no question.
If Bucky didn't interferes, his head would have been clean.
Oh yeah, no question. That was it. That was over. Mm-hmm.
So it was funny because John was just like, hey, "Let me put the shield down. Would that make it easier?" I'm just like, this guy, like, he's a clown.
Yeah,
he's a straight clown.
I do want to say something. Remember, like, he's talking. They were talking to the teacher in the building, and he's like, people said they would come help.
Yeah.
And they never did. And then Carly makes a statement about like, the shield and like, this shield is a symbol of everybody who got left out. Mm-hmm. And it made me think about when Steve was saying, when he was talking to Tony and he was like, what happens if we sign this and they can't, they don't let us go where we need to go.
Yeah.
That's immediately what I started thinking about when she made that statement and hearing how the teacher talked. Yeah. So yeah, I thought it was just interesting comparisons.
Now, I'm glad that you brought up the teacher because something that I wanted to bring up was how when Sam was asking the questions and trying to find out who the lady was, and the teacher knew who Sam was. He knew that he was Falcon. And I just found it interesting that, this man in another country knew who Sam was, but the police that came up to him when they were in Maryland, they didn't know who he was. You know what I'm saying? Like
halfway around the world.
Yeah, this man, he saved the world. Like he's been in all this stuff, man. And it's just like, they treated him like he was a nobody. You know what I'm saying? And it's just messed up. Now, Nazeeh, I wanted to ask you, because we haven't talked about this yet, like Zemo, like how do you feel about him, man? Like he got away when the big fight was going on. Like, what do you think is going to happen next now that he's gone? Do you think that he's going to betray Sam and Bucky, or do you think that he's just going to hightail it out of there?
So full disclosure, or I guess not really full disclosure, but so I don't know anything from the comics or anything like that. So I don't have any sort of like predicated knowledge going into this answer. Okay. But I feel like the way it's setting up, and I guess this is me coming from like the formulaic cinema analysis sort of thing. I feel like there's going to be a point where he betrays, and then a point where he like still comes back and somehow helps. And then at the end, it's going to be like all right, cool. We're enemies again, but catch you on the flip,
Yeah, definitely like, see that classic villain.
Yeah, exactly. Just like, okay, fine. I guess I don't have a career if you don't exist. Yeah, I definitely, it's very obvious, especially with the way that he talked to the little girl when he offered up that bribe and everything. It was just like, oh, by the way, these are bad people. Just that entire thing already like sort of foreshadows a sort of betrayal that's going to happen, or in the very least him looking out for himself. Yep. So it's very clear that, at least to me it is, that something is absolutely going to happen, because it's up till now, it's always been like he somehow escapes, but he always comes back.
Yeah, right.
It's true. Just like he went ahead and killed the dude, And then he was just like, hey, I mean, he needed to die. And like, he just stayed with them. And then there was like, just every other instance when he's gotten away, or like with the handcuffed in the scene during this episode, he got away. And then granted, he got caught. So I guess it's not technically the same as coming back, but, like he's a wily one,
Yeah. he's definitely very smart, actually.
Like
he's a huge strategist.
Yeah, so especially going with that background of his, him talking about just like the supremacy idealism and the fact that his own upbringing into this world and as we know it, like absolutely, he's got his own motives, he's got his own villainous sort of ideals coming in. So yeah,
I agree. Trav, what are your thoughts?
Man, I mean, honestly, I don't call it a betrayal because they ain't boys. You know what I mean? So
they knew who he was.
It's not really a betrayal.
Sure.
Himself.
I like that.
But my thing is, bro, his two options is I try and make a break for it, or I go back to the padded room. Well,
or you go to Wakanda.
What is anybody gonna do?
Right.
Oh yeah, or I get killed by Wakandans. So I mean, these are my options here. I'm taking the sneaky way out.
Yep.
No, totally. I can't disagree with that.
Yeah. My turn?
Yeah.
Hey, only.
I thought I heard you say
only if you want to.
No. I said D.
I'm gonna pass on this one. Thanks. No, Zemo. I definitely think it's gonna be like it's one of those scenarios where he's a classic hero villain team up where the villain's staying with them just long enough to get what he wants.
Yeah.
And that's it. I think that he needs to get close enough to Carly. He already told him he wants her dead.
Yeah.
And he hasn't been close enough in the right light
he was
to
trying
kill her.
to.
And I think that's exactly what it comes down. Yeah, I think that's what it comes down to.
Yeah.
Banks,
go ahead, Trav.
You remember how
I won't go say nothing. I'm just backing up my boy D.
Oh, okay, well go ahead, D.
my man. No, I was gonna say we all know how Lovecraft Country ended. Me and Banks do. Remember, she was pleading for help. She was the villain. I think I could see Carly going out like that, man. He's gonna be crawling, asking for help. Stray bullet.
Now, something I wanted to bring up was Carly. The whole conversation between her and Sam, and also the conversation that Sam's had with people throughout the entire episode about how the world it changed when. For 5 years when there was nobody there, like Carly, she mentions how they were in houses and like they were finally able to have a decent living, and then everybody comes back and it's just like we get thrown into the streets. You know what I'm saying? I know me and D, we've had this conversation before about like imagine if
we have
if we were finally able to live a comfortable life now because we weren't able to have the same opportunities as other people. Based off of our income or where we lived at, and now we're finally able to have a decent life, and it's just like, no, we're going to take everything away from you. And it's like Sam being able to relate with her, because we saw in the first episode where it's like he wasn't able to get the loan at the bank. He thought because of who he was that he would be able to get the loan. They was just like, no, we can't help you, we can't help your sister, and it sucks. So it's like, in a way, I know, Trav, you had mentioned this before on one of our interviews where we were, not our interview, but the Scissor 7 review, where it's just like, there really is no real villain on Scissor 7. And with the Flag Smashers, it's like, yeah, they're the bad guys, but it's like, I understand why they're doing what they're doing, because they want the world. That's why they say, one world, one person, I believe. That's what they say.
Yeah, it's not one person. That is, it's one world, one something.
It's one world, one message.
All I know is this, man. There's always gonna be reasons why you do it. Do what you do. Crack dealers got a reason for why they're selling crack. Okay, it's more money than it's not, because it's better. It's more money than working the 9 to 5, right? But that doesn't the ends don't justify the means, though.
Well,
so
I get that.
Unlike Scissor 7, to me, it is a clear Carly is a villain, because to get what she wants, she is willing to sacrifice any sort of innocent person in her way.
Sure. But here's the thing though, right? And this kind of goes on to the phone call that she had with Sam's sister, where she's like, "Oh, you're the terrorist." And she's like, "Well, depending on what side you're on, we're the revolutionaries," you know? Yeah. So it's like, to us, because of, obviously as a viewer and the way everything is framed, obviously the villain. But, this isn't really that much different from our current just socio-political climate and just, current world, where it's just like, it don't matter which superpower you're looking at, just depending on which side you're on, the other is always going to look like the villain.
Yeah.
Yep. No, you're always going to be somebody's villain and somebody's hero.
Yeah. And, I like how you have brought up the conversation with Sarah, because Sarah, she's been in a position now where it's like she's seen how the system is to her and her family, and she sees what the Flag Smashers are doing and whatnot. So I could kind of see like Sarah wanting to side with the Flag Smashers, because the Flag Smashers are trying to make the world a better place for people like Sarah who, pretty much weren't able to get by because of how the world is now. So I can understand like some people want to get on the side of the person that is, I guess, on the right side of things. I mean, like we see this in certain animes, kind of like Death Note, for example. There were people who agreed with what Kira was doing. And then there were people that was just like, no, like what Kira is doing is wrong. Like nobody should be able to get killed like that.
But that snowballed in him killing innocent people.
Yeah, exactly.
Versus just scumbags.
Yeah. Now, I guess, about to go ahead and wrap this thing up. But one thing that I wanted to say, my final thing before we give it the rating for the episode, is I was disappointed that we didn't see Lennox in the episode. I was looking for him. And I told D, I was just like, Reness was not in the episode. I need to see my boy Reness.
I actually felt like his character was the one that Bucky kicked through the wall. The size matched, but you didn't get the face. I get that, but
or you didn't.
I think that was who that.
Because when you see the back of the head.
Yeah, he had like a thing over his face. Like it was like he had like not a turban, but like a sheet or something. Right. I think that was the same guy. That was supposed to be his character, I think.
I know on last week's episode, it's like he was wearing the mask, and then you saw the back of his head, and you was like, "Yeah, that's Reness." But he's a lot bigger than the other ones, the other Flag Smashers. So exactly.
Yeah, I think that was his character though.
And like we said on last week's review, like like Lennox is an important character that plays a part with John Walker in the comics. So that's all. That was the last thing that I wanted to say. So starting with you, Nazeeh, what do you give this episode rating?
I give it an 8. Actually, no, I give it an 8.5. I did really like it. I'm one of those guys who just doesn't give a perfect score because like I'll give you up to a 9.9, but in my head I'm like, perfection doesn't exist. But 8.5, I really, really did enjoy it, and I think it's heading in a really good direction.
D?
Give it a gonna have to get us a 3, guys. I was looking for a lot more this time around.
All right, Paul.
That workman score. I'm gonna go ahead and give it an 8. It was very fun, very fast paced for the most part. We got some details in there. Zemo was slippery as a banana peel. You know what I'm saying? So I like the play. So yep, 8
play.
Trav.
Hey, unfortunately, this wraps up our 2 episodes written by Derek Colston. So they are switching off writers. Yeah. The first 2 is Malcolm Spellman, and this 2 is Derek Colston, the writer of the John Wick series.
Okay.
So I'm interested to see how these next ones hold up. No disrespect to anybody, but I mean, to match Derek Colston's writing abilities, it's going to be tough. So, but yeah, this I give it 8.5. Great episode. I really love these last 2 episodes that we had. Yep. Interested to see where we go from here.
Nice. For me, unfortunately, I'm not gonna be able to, jump on the train with you guys because it's like all of y'all have been giving it the same score. I'm gonna go ahead and give it a 9, and the reason why I'm gonna give it a 9 is because from beginning to end, I was hooked to the episode. The action was on point. Like just seeing the start with Ayo and Bucky, I thought that she was going to go after Zemo right at the start of the episode. But when she was just like, I'm going to give you 8 hours to do what you need to do, then I'm coming back. And when she came back, she delivered, and she didn't come back by herself. Like, honestly, I feel like even if she would have came back by herself, she would have been able to take all of them out. I really feel that, and I'm adamant about that. But she brought the group with her, and just that, Zemo plotting and doing what he's doing, and then John Walker, like, he really pisses me off. Like the whole scene where Sam was just like, I want to go in here and talk with Carly by myself, and John Walker, he's just like, no, we need to get in there right now. Like, he's an asshole, and every time I see him, he makes me.
That's what he's used to, though.
He makes me hate him more. Yeah, I mean, we've seen that in his roles, like in what is the movie Overlord.
No, right? I mean John Walker's career in the military. This is what he's used to.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, just going straight in.
You got your squad. I think you take care of business.
I do think it's funny that he's used to being the hot shot, the top dog, and now he's the bottom of the barrel. It doesn't matter. Like shield, just remember, the shield doesn't make the man.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
That's what Tony said the same thing to Spider-Man.
And so did my boy Ric Flair.
But yeah, I mean, like the action was on point, and then that ending, like I said, when I watched it, my jaw dropped because I was shocked that.
Of course, it did.
I was shocked that this happened, and then the fact that he kept throwing the shield at the dude, and it's like there were people there, and like he didn't care. And I understand, he lost his best friend, he lost his right hand man, and just the whole scene overall. So yeah, I give it a 9, and I can't wait to see what happens on next week's episode, because I mean we only have 2 episodes left now.
But hey,
real quick,
go
Trav.
If Banks was closer to the camera in the Z,
yeah,
he would notice that you're trying to say something. He would notice, but he's so far away.
No, I ain't trying to be disrespectful. All right, I'm just a guest.
Easy. Hey, use the raise hand emoji, guys.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah. That what good that did me.
No, I was gonna say I would have given this episode that extra 0.5 to bring it up to a 9 if in that scene where Walker comes across all the serums, sees them all smashed, and he only saw one, I would have given it that extra half if there was 2 or 3, and then he would have smashed the other 2 or 3 and then took one. I don't like the coincidence. I don't like the coincidence of it's just there's only one left.
Yeah, that would have made it more villainous.
It would have.
I think that would have given that extra. But hey,
that's a good point. I like it. But just one more thing on the Steve and Walker comparison. That's the other thing. Like, Walker can barely handle this, and look at what Steve had to go through.
Yeah,
to get where he was. Walker, look at him; he's falling apart. He got a bad lead, and this guy's about to cry.
Hey, Steve also got a 90-year nap, man. John Walker ain't get no damn sleep.
John Walker, he's stressed out.
Yo, ain't no rest for the wicked.
It's crazy because we see him in that interview that he has, and he seems like he's a good guy. He's the new Boy Scout, but then we see how he is behind the scenes. This is man, this dude is trash. Like,
that's what happens when you pretend, dude. The facade can only hold up for so long.
Hey, now that everybody saw what he did, and we can end it with this. Do you think that there are going to be people that agree with what John Walker did?
Oh, of course.
Or do you think that people are going to be like, yo, this guy, he's not my Captain America?
Bro, of course. But, dude, there's people out there in the real world that, was riding with your boy Big Trump. Okay.
Yeah.
So anybody, if you over here asking, you think there's going to be people that agree with Cap? Hell yeah.
Yeah. Just remember, this guy's more government than Steve.
That's true.
That's right.
He's got the backing of the government.
Come on, bro.
Now, this is one more thing I want to say, because now that he has the super soldier serum, do you guys think that Sam and Bucky are going to be able to take him out? Because now it makes me think of Hobbs and Shaw. Remember when they had to fight Idris Elba at the end of the movie, and he was pretty much Superman. Do you guys think that they're going to be able to take him out, starting with Unity?
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be that the whole setup is gonna be that whole that ain't my partner, and then it's gonna be like, hey, partner, and then boom.
Exactly.
I just think they're gonna overcome him. I think it's gonna take a massive team up. I don't think it's just gonna be Sam and Bucky. I think it might top out at maybe 5 people. This is Marvel. This is action based. I'll look for other people to help them.
So probably what, Carly and probably Sharon Carter as well. And Zemo. Yeah.
Maybe Zemo. I'm curious to see if they're gonna give Zemo a sword or not. That's what I'm waiting to see. They're in these they're shooting in these weird locations where it's very ceremonial, very historical district. I think they should do it. Give him the sword. He needs it. But
Trav?
Give him the sword.
Yeah, give the man the sword. He has a sword.
Of course, bro. And would it be the show ain't called John Walker Captain America. The show called The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, bro. Of course, bro. Mm-hmm. You acting like it's the 90s and that cartoon is, will our heroes survive next week? I don't know. I don't know, Dad. Are they? I don't know, Dad. Hell yeah. They about to stomp a mud hole in his ass.
Oh,
yeah. Hey, so Nazeeh, thank you again for joining us on today's review of Falcon and Winter Soldier. Now, before we let you go, let everybody in social media land know where they can find you at.
Hey, you can find me on Twitter at Nazeeh Tarsha. That's pretty much the only place you should find me because I don't hop on any other social media.
Thank you. And
thank you.
D and Trav, before y'all say what y'all have to say with social media land, Nazeeh, his interview, we interviewed him on the Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks podcast, and it will be out next Tuesday. So make sure you tune in for that because it was a really good episode. And with that being said, D, let everybody in social media land know where they can find you at.
That's going to be rebellious_D23 at Instagram.com. Trav?
Hey, one-stop shop, baby, on the Instagrams at ZK Audio. And, if you're looking for the real Captain America, a real hero, where are they going to find one at, good sir?
You can find me, your hero, Benjamin Banks, at KingBenji_Banks on Twitter and Instagram. And you can look me up on Facebook at Benjamin Banks, and I should be the first person to pop up. If not, then I need to contact Mr. Zuckerberg. Thank you, everybody, for watching this video review, and we'll see you on our next video review with Invincible and the My Hero Academia episode 3, and then My Hero Academia chapter 308 video review. So, yeah. Keep that pinky up. We'll see you next time. Peace.
Thanks again, everybody, for watching another episode of Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. Make sure you like, follow, subscribe to the channel. Podcast, we got that too. Make sure you give us a thumbs up and hit that bell for further episodes and notifications. Thanks a lot to our patrons. And if you don't mind, join the Patreon. We'll be having new specials coming up soon.